Welcome to my course planning presentation. This presentation is especially important if you are planning on attending a post-secondary institution after high school. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce myself in case you do not know who I am. I am the Career and Post-Secondary Advisor at Delta Secondary. This presentation will hopefully help you plan your courses for grade 11 and 12, and again, especially if you are planning on attending a post-secondary institution after high school. Post-secondary really means any schooling after high school. It can be a university, a college, a trade school, or a technical institute like BCIT. I will only be presenting on the main post-secondary institutions here in BC. If you are planning on attending schools across Canada, I do highly advise that you make an appointment with me to go over your course selection, or if you're only applying to schools here in BC. Every institution here in BC and across Canada has different admission requirements. You can't make the assumption that just because you've met the admission requirements to UBC, that you would have met the requirements to the University of Toronto or SFU or McGill. Every school and every faculty will have different admission requirements. It can be quite complex to meet the admission requirements, especially if you're applying to multiple schools. Today's presentation will just be an outline of what I will be discussing in my longer presentation. In my longer presentation, I will be discussing in more depth what the admission requirements will be to the different post-secondary schools here in BC. I will only be highlighting a few of the schools here in BC. I will not be going through the admission requirements to any schools outside of BC. The longer presentation will be about 35 to 40 minutes, and you should be getting a link to access this presentation. Okay. So this is just a list of the post-secondary institutions here in BC, and as you can see, there's a lot of different schools here with hundreds of different programs and different requirements to all the different programs. So there's a lot of choices here in BC. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the trades. So if you're looking at an apprenticeship, a trade, post-secondary education is a combination of paid work-based training with technical training in a classroom or shop setting. Generally takes between 1 to 5 years to complete an apprenticeship, but most takes about 4 years to complete. Okay. So there's a couple ways you can start your apprenticeship. During high school through the Youth Train in Trades program, the Youth Work in Trades program, or you can start your apprenticeship after high school. And again, in my longer presentation, I'll be going a little bit in more depth about the different programs here in high school. So just so you know, the Youth Train in Trades program through high school, we have a few that runs out of the North Delta Secondary, Seaquam. And then we also have partnerships with the different schools, post-secondary schools here in BC. And then we have the Youth Work in Trades program. And so if you're interested in any of these programs, you can see Miss Day for more information, or you can come and see me. Okay? But I will be referring you to Miss Day for the application forms. Okay? So these are just a highlight. So we have the Work Experience program, the Youth Work in Trades, as well as the Youth Train in Trades programs. Okay, so if you are interested in starting your trades after high school, some of the schools, BCIT, KPU, and VCC has programs. Okay. So my apologies, but I'm going to be going fairly quickly through this presentation, but this is just an outline of what I will be presenting in my longer presentation. So UBC has quite a few admission requirements to get into the program. So they look at grades as well as what they call a personal profile. Okay. So they do look at all of your grade 11 and your grade 12 courses, and then some specific grade 11, grade 12 courses, and then very key grade 12 courses. Okay. So they do recommend taking 6 grade 12 courses. So this is the Faculty of Arts. These are the admission requirements. And again, I'll be going through the requirements in my longer presentation. So this is a quick look at the categories of courses through the language arts, mathematics and computation, science, second languages, social studies, and visual arts. And so the courses that you take, depending on the program you're applying to, will fall under one of these categories. Okay, so this is the Applied Science program, the engineering. Calculus, highly recommended for the engineering program. This is the science requirements for UBC. The physics and chem are two very important courses. UBC looks at the Chem 11 and the Physics 11 to meet the science requirements. It is not any two sciences in grade 11. So if you take Life Science 11 and Chemistry 11, it actually doesn't meet the Faculty of Science requirements. Okay, so this is the Commerce program. So one thing to remember is to be taking the Pre-Calc 11 and then ultimately Pre-Calc 12. History 12 is not considered a core course for the Commerce program. You can certainly take it, but it's not considered as one of the core courses. These are the core courses for the social studies. Okay. UBC Okanagan, even though it's UBC, it's a different campus. They do have different admission requirements to the Okanagan campus. This is the nursing program. If you are interested in nursing, there's a cheat sheet in the Career Center that outlines all the different nursing programs here in BC. The Okanagan campus, the Faculty of Arts, there is no second language requirements to the campus. Okay, this is the science program. And moving on to SFU. So it's a little bit complex with SFU in the admission requirements. So they have general entrance requirements for grade 11. And so this is the list of all the English, the language, the math, the science, and the social studies that they expect you to meet for the grade 11 courses. And depending on the program you apply to, they may require very specific math or science courses. Okay. So this is the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. So the grade 12 courses. So all courses at SFU is separated into what they call List A and List B courses. And so you, for the most part, all of the required courses to the different programs should come from List A courses. Okay. These are the List B courses. The preference is that students choose all of their required courses from List A. Okay, so from List A. If you're not sure what programs you can be applying to or what faculty, they have an admissions compass that you can use to help you determine what program you're eligible to apply to. Okay. This is the business program. Okay, so again, your List A courses, preference is that your courses come from List A and not List B. This is the Faculty of Science. Again, very important for your science requirements that you should, for at least grade 11, you take the Physics and Chem 11. And then for your grade 12 courses, if you're not taking all three sciences, you should be taking, you should make sure that you are taking calculus in your grade 12th year. Okay, so the engineering sciences, very specific courses. They do want the calculus. Okay, so make sure that if you're in grade 10 right now, that you take your Pre-Calc 11 and Pre-Calc 12 so that you can take calculus in your grade 12th year. Okay, so moving on to UVIC, there is no second language requirements to UVIC. So the Faculty of Social Sciences, they have specific grade 11 courses, grade 12 courses that you need to meet. These are all the approved grade 12 academic courses. Faculty of Engineering, okay, so these are the engineering program, and then you've got the computer science program. UVIC, Faculty of Science, again, Chem and Physics 11. You may have to meet both Physics and Chem 11. If you have a Life Science 11 and a Physics 11, it doesn't actually meet the science requirements. And then you've got the business program here. So one thing to make sure is that you are taking Pre-Calc 11 and then Pre-Calc 12. Okay. So just quickly on online courses, if you do take online courses, generally you have until February and end of January or February to take your online courses. UBC and SFU had changed it this year, and they changed it to the end of June. However, for next year, it may be different. They may revert it back to the earlier deadline. And then UVIC has until the end of May to complete your online course. Okay. So Douglas, moving on to Douglas College, they have a lot of different programs available at Douglas College. They have the university transfer programs, but they have career programs. Okay, so again, more programs at Douglas College. The general entrance requirement is English 12 with a C, and then career programs will have additional prerequisites. So if you something like the veterinary technology program, they will have very specific admission requirements. Langara College, these are all the different programs that are available at Langara College. Okay. The general entrance requirements to Langara is high school graduation. Career programs will again have additional prerequisites. However, each individual course that you take at Langara may or may not have a prerequisite from high school. So looking at here, this will tell you what prerequisites you need to take from high school. Okay, so KPU, these are some of the different programs at KPU, and there's no second language requirements to KPU. Okay, so BCIT will have, they have over 300 programs and 1,000 part-time programs in 6 general areas. Okay, so there's 2 types of entry at BCIT. There's the non-competitive entry and competitive entry. And again, in my longer presentation, I will be going through more of the differences between the 2. Okay, so moving on to admission averages, UBC, they're looking at a combination of your grades and a personal profile. Historically, the grade point averages have been about a 93% grade point average. However, it really changes year to year. UVIC, depending on the program, you can be looking at 70% in fine arts up to 85% in engineering or sciences. SFU, they put a value on your application depending on whether your courses come from List A or List B. So if all your courses come from List A, there's going to be a higher value put on your application. Okay, so for those students who want to complete a university education, but they might be missing a couple courses to get into university directly, or you're looking at going to a college or smaller university first because of transportation or costs, the colleges and the smaller universities like Kwantlen or Capilano will have associate's degree, art, science, business, health, environment, and much more so. So you can start at a college like Langara College, complete 2 years, transfer to UBC, complete another 2 years, or SFU or UVIC, and then you will complete your bachelor's degree. So it's still 4 years to complete your university degree. Okay. So this is just a brief introduction to my presentation. If you'd like to make an appointment to go over your course selection, I highly advise that you do so. This is the link to access my online appointment booklet, or if you want to email me for an appointment time, you can do so. Appointments are generally in person. However, if you prefer a phone or a Google Meet, please let me know. You can indicate that when you book an appointment with me online. And so if you do book an appointment online, you'll see something like this. So you just click on which date and time you would like to see me, and then appointments are generally about 20 minutes in duration. So again, this is just a brief introduction to my longer presentation. You will be getting a link to that, and it's about 35 to about 40 minutes in duration, and I'll be kind of going through in much more detail the admission requirements to SFU, UBC, UVIC, some of the colleges here in the Lower Mainland. Thank Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation.